Welcome back to another episode of Forbidden Depths. I'm your host, Queen Frostbitten, and we're here today to get down, dirty, and sultry by staying open, educated, consensual, and safe. If you're returning, welcome back to another episode. Thanks for supporting the channel and its growth. If, of course, you're new here, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe, because one taste will never be enough. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us back at Forbidden Depths. We have an amazing guest today. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself.
Hi guys, my name is Lola Noir.
Oh my goodness. Also, I want to ask where your name came from. It is super fucking amazing.
Well, I created my rubber doll persona first, and I was really struggling with a name. And actually, it came to me on my birthday. I woke up in the morning and I don't know, the name just came to me. I was struggling for so many days. I was thinking about I don't know, latex something, rubber something. Then I was like, latex, Lolita, Lola Noir. And it all of a sudden, I woke up and the name came to me. So that's how it went down.
It's fucking awesome. Fucking awesome.
So
I want to ask what your inspiration was for the rubber doll. Like, I guess that's more on the extreme whenever it comes to personas. Like, you have a full persona, not just like, oh, well, I do this fetish. Like, you embody the fetish. So I'm so curious.
Yeah, I guess I just express my sexuality through this persona. And I always was this rubber doll inside, but before I discovered latex, I had no outlet to express it. And it was always kept in the bedroom between me and my partner's playmates. Right. And latex gave me this opportunity to create all of this.
Yes. So you yourself have a latex fetish?
Yes.
Oh, fucking love it. I love it. So I need to know what drew you to the latex.
I don't know, it's hard to explain, but this is actually my first latex item, this dress.
How old is it?
3 years old. Yeah, I would say 3.
That's
awesome.
Because
I started right before the pandemic. And that was my first latex item, and I put it on, and it's so tight. It's shiny, the smell of it, just the feeling of latex on my skin, it's amazing. And I don't know, there's something about it, just the texture and as I said, the shine. So I started with the dress, and then gradually I was discovering other items like gloves, stockings. I had first catsuit, and then after a while I discovered hoods, also by accident. And that's something totally different because it transforms you. I mean, anybody can wear latex clothing, fashion-wise, but once you put the hood on, you are totally different person. Yeah. And I think it's very transformative, and that's what drew me to latex the most. You became somebody else.
Right. Yeah. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. So I personally have never worn a latex hood. Is it super constricting, with movements whenever you're trying to move your head?
Well, some of them, I like them really tight, and some of them, they are very tight, and that's the idea. Right. It's not that constrictive. I went out to eat wearing the hood. It's not a problem. Your ears might hurt after a while if it's really
Mm,
tight or like brand new or very thick, because it comes in different thickness as well.
right.
But no, other than this, no. I mean, there are bondage hoods as well with the blindfolds and like laces on the back, with attached gags. They can be more restrictive.
Right.
Um, but no, I just love this feeling. It feels amazing on my face. So
Well, it looks amazing. You make it look phenomenal.
thank you.
I started following you quite some time ago, kind of whenever I started getting into a little bit of latex myself. Um, I can't even remember how I started following you. I just remember that I was fucking in love with your content. Like, you have some amazing shit. And let me tell you, it's like you get into these, I guess, categories where there's just so many people and it's just so saturated. And I don't find that when it comes to the rubber dolls, because not many people are full out rubber doll. They just wear a few items, latex gloves or maybe the stockings or, whatever it may be, but they don't do the full dress. So I found that super fucking amazing and it caught my eye. Um, so you said that you kind of started with the smaller items and moved up. So did you start with the dresses first, or like what was the kind, like what items did you start with first and move into?
Yeah, I started with the dress. And obviously, it was very fashion related. So, different
Right.
dresses and then accessories like the gloves and stockings. Yeah, and then shortly after that, I had my first cat suit. And I can talk about cat suits for hours because there's
Mm,
so many different ones.
yeah.
And I don't even know where to start. But with the latex catsuit, it gives you this opportunity to create something more because, as I said, you move from the fashion aspect to it more
Yeah.
to like BDSM and to like you create the entire brand new persona.
Right.
Um, yeah, and the same with the hoods, like you create, you just express yourself and create your persona.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like there's many people, I know many people who are rubber dolls, males and females, but also I think some people do too much because they want to do everything. So they do
Yeah.
fashion, they do bondage, and I just focus on this rubber doll, this one thing.
Right.
So I guess that's what made people so interested in my content.
Right. Yes. Yes. I would completely agree. So I was super, super curious. I can't remember how long ago it's been. It was a little while back. I seen a clip that you had with the um, inflated, like it was an enlarged hood. How is that different in comparison to the tight hood?
Are you talking about the ball hood, like a big ball?
Yes.
Oh, that's my favorite. So basically what it is, you just put it on, you can't see through it. There's no access to your mouth. You only breathe through a little tube. So you keep the tube in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected like to the top, and that's where the outlet for the air is. And then you inflate it, and it's made of two layers of latex, and the air goes between the layers. So it's like squeezing your face, but it's very pleasant. It's very
Mm-hmm.
like snuggly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you don't hear very well. You can't see. You have to focus on breathing. Like some people get panic attack.
Yeah.
But I love it. For me, it's very relaxing. And after a while, you dissociate, you focus on other sensation, like, for example, the feeling of your body or somebody else's body.
Right.
And after being there for a while, you just don't want to come out.
Yeah. It's like therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love being inside, especially if I have like full rubber on. I feel like I'm somewhere else. And
Right.
then if I'm playing with somebody, that's the best experience ever because I can focus on what's going on. Like I can really focus on what I feel and I can focus on my body. So I don't have to worry, oh, what I look like.
Right.
I'm distracted by what other person looks like. It's all like focusing on your own pleasure. So it's
Right.
amazing.
Yeah. I fucking love it. So when it comes to preparing, how long does it usually take whenever you have to put all of this on? Because a lot of people don't know, anybody listening that's never dealt with latex, it is time consuming. It takes a while to put it on. So on average, whenever you're becoming full rubber doll, how long does it take you?
You think, okay, so I used to store my latex in talcum powder. So before I was getting ready, I had to rinse off the powder and then wash my latex and then shine it, wait for it to dry. Now I'm more efficient because I store it in silicone oil. So it's already shiny. I take it out of the bag and it's like ready to wear. But like my favorite type of catsuit is neck entry catsuit, and that takes time. And I always take my time with those because I don't want to destroy it. Basically, you go to the neck. So you have to open the neck, put your feet inside it, and like, pull it all the way here. One arm, the other. There's like no zipper, so you have to go through the neck. That takes time. Like I'm quite experienced with it at this point, but it's still like for me, it's like 15-20 minutes because I take my time. And you have to like oil your body with the dressing aid. You have to oil the catsuit, so there's no traction. So that would be like 20 minutes. Then I put the corset on. And it's a funny story because for nearly 2 years, I didn't know how to lace up the corsets. And my friends were making fun of me because they were like, oh, you wear corsets all the time and you don't know how to lace it. And I was like, no, I always have somebody with me that, no, it's either the photographer or the cameraman or co-model. So I never had to do it by myself. So the corset takes time because I'm still clumsy with it. So I would say another 10-15 minutes. And then, the gloves, shoes, the hood. I mean, you have to put some makeup on. I put very minimal makeup because I feel with the latex hood, it really brings out your feature, like your eyes, your lips. So I don't like to put a lot of eye makeup.
Right.
So I don't spend that much money on makeup, maybe like 10-15 minutes, but I would say 1 hour. Yeah. Calculate all those tasks. 1 hour. Oh, yeah, 1 hour.
And that's after you have some experience, kind of whenever you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. Let me tell you, I remember the first time I put latex on, there was so much resistance. Like whenever you pull it on, and I was just like, why is this so hard? How do people wear this? Because it's crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to use a lot of product, a lot of dressing aid, because it makes things easier.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So, whenever you're looking to create your content with your rubber doll persona, what do you usually use as kind of like a reinforcement or inspiration?
Like reinforcement, like motivation to do what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I don't have to use anything because like I love doing that. And I mean, I don't like to put the latex on because it's the process, and I'm always like, oh, I have to get dressed. But
Right.
once I'm dressed, I feel amazing. I don't want to take it off, and I can keep on going. Whether if I'm filming or shooting, I can keep on going. Like sometimes to the point that I'm already exhausted, but I just love it. So I don't need any reinforcement.
Right.
And what was the second part of your question?
The inspiration whenever you're creating content.
Yeah. The inspiration, like I don't watch other people, and because I don't want to be influenced by other
Right.
people and by what they do. I know a lot of people do it, like on social media, they follow other creators, they get
Yeah.
inspired by them. Like
Yeah.
I don't like to do it. I think all my inspiration, it comes from my dirty mind. I know I would be more creative and yeah, I would be more creative if I watch other people and if I watch porn. Like I don't watch porn at all. I used to back in the day, and it was mostly like vanilla porn, not
Right.
fetish porn. Like, but I don't like to watch porn because it's so repetitive. I find it boring. So basically,
Yeah.
I'm like excluded from all of this.
Yeah.
I follow my favorite creators on Instagram, but like I don't know, like I don't get inspired by external things. It comes like from within.
Nice. Nice. I really like that because you can stay true to yourself like that too, right? It'll only be things that you want to create because it already exists in you. So I think that's pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Pretty
But
awesome.
I also think like as I said, like if I would watch other people, I would be even like more successful because there's so much stuff on the internet, but also
Yeah.
uh, within the fetish world, there's only so much you can do. It's not
Mhm.
endless possibilities because everything was done. So you just have to
Right.
like be yourself and do whatever feels good to you, uh, like in your own way.
Right.
You can copy and paste.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So whenever you're looking at kind of how you developed your rubber doll persona, what strengths do you feel helped you when developing?
I'm not sure if I understand this question.
So what makes you good at what you do?
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I never thought about it. Because I never thought I'm good at what I'm doing. I was just doing those things because
Right.
with when I created Lola, I realized I am an exhibitionist and I always was. But
Okay.
it was always like between me and my partners, like, exchanging nudes and dirty videos. And I was always so turned on when I was filming myself.
Right.
But I never like I thought like I can never do it for people like in public.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but, but creating Lola made me realize like I am an exhibitionist, and it turns me on that other people are watching me.
Yeah.
So I started doing this because I love it. Like, and then
Right.
I was like, okay, maybe some other people would like to see it. And then I received very positive feedback from those people. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't understand why they like it so much. I'm glad they do.
Right.
And it was like really surprising. So, and that kind of like kept me going as well because people were like, oh, this is so great. This is amazing. You look,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, I just wear latex. It's just a latex catsuit like everybody else. Like, uh, I don't know. People just loved it.
Yeah. And like, well, I've been following you for a while, and I mean, there are a lot of like everything is latex centered, but there's just so many different perceptions when it comes to like content. Like I'm scrolling through your if you don't follow her over on Twitter, make sure you do. It's at LOLA_NOIR__
Yeah,
on
to
Twitter.
understand. Yeah.
So make sure you follow over there. Amazing, amazing content. And it's like, there's not just one solo focus. Like you have content that includes like masturbation, you have gagged content, you have licking content. Like there's just so many amazing things. Of course, it all is focused around the latex. Oh, there's your ball one. I'm telling you, I have never seen a ball hood like that. I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, what is this? But it's super amazing. And I can see the straw now. Oh my goodness. I was like so curious. I was like, how is she breathing in that? And then I never noticed the little straw on top. It looks like a little antenna. But now that you
Yeah,
told me
you
that,
have to be really careful because if you go inside of the pool or any lake, whatever, um, you have to make sure you're not gonna like flood the top because then you won't be able to breathe.
yeah, that is so awesome. So awesome. So there's a variety of content, like heavy fetish, but there's also some stuff that's kind of thrown in there that does involve pussy and dick, which I enjoy that that's incorporated. One of my biggest question is whenever you are going to do a scene, maybe it's a collaboration, maybe it's some kind of paid shoot, how do you choose who you want to work with?
Oh, that's okay. Let me think about it. Basically, I don't reach out to people. I
Mhm.
never did. And I'm not saying that because, oh, I am so narcissistic, like people should come to me. It's like,
Right.
no, people always came to me, and I'm actually like, I am a shy person. Like, I'm not very social. I don't like human interactions when I go out. Like,
Right.
I don't feel comfortable dealing with people. So I don't like approach people first.
Right.
It's always like people always came to me, and then I'm like checking their social media, and I'm like, okay, I like this person vibe. I like
Mhm.
their vibe. I like their content. I'm willing to work with this person.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it's like this, and I always work with other content creators, not some random people,
Right.
because then we are on the same page. We are
Yes.
here to create content, not to have fun, not to have sex. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people who don't understand that. They think
Yeah.
in just, it's a lot of work. It's not as
Yes.
fun as it looks like. And with other content
Right.
creators, like we are on the same page, so we are
Right.
both here to film. Um, yeah, but it's mostly the vibe. Like I see how this person presents themselves on the internet, and
Right.
I'm like, yeah, looks good. I mean, let's do it. But sometimes you arrive at the set, and it's different when you talk to somebody online and different when you see each other face to face. So if I arrive at the set and the vibes are off, like I'm like, okay, let's focus on the work. Let's film, let's shoot. At the end
Right.
of the day, we're gonna have great content and we don't have to be friends. We
Right.
don't have to see each other again. But most of the time, 99%, I arrive at the set and I just become friends with other creators, photographers,
Yeah.
uh, cameramans, because it's a small community and we both love latex,
Hmm.
so it's easy to connect.
Yeah. Which is awesome because you have that common ground already, right? So whenever you have a passion for something and somebody else experiences that as well, it helps so much whenever you're creating content with them, right? Like the
Yeah,
chemistry. Yeah.
yes. And I also worked with people who are not that experienced
Hmm.
in with latex. But it was also fun because then like I can get something from their world and
Right.
I can provide something for them. So it's like an exchange of, I don't know,
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah. And I mean, I've also found that whenever you're working with someone and they have information you don't, and you have information that they don't, you can kind of share that. So then it becomes a learning experience, which is
And
good.
unique. Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. So, do you do rubber doll completely full time? Is it your primary and only job, or do you have like a secondary day job?
No, that's all I do. So this is my primary job that started as a hobby.
Yeah.
And then I realized I can do it full time. It's not only for fun, I can make
Yeah.
living out of it. The problem is like everything I earn from my adult platform goes towards latex and travel expenses. So at the end of the day, I don't even know if I break even, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's worth it because I'm able to travel, I'm able to meet people, I'm able to buy latex, so it's worth it. It's not
Yeah.
about money. It's about, doing what you love.
Yeah, because then it doesn't really feel like work. Like, yeah, it is work, but because you got to put all this energy, all this time into it, but at the end of the day, you feel better. You feel better about yourself,
Yeah.
mentally you're better, like overall, it's just a better experience, right?
Yes, and then at the end of the day, you created something for yourself, like with photo shoots or
Mm-hmm.
clips. Um, you created something. You have something. It's
Right.
not like going to work at the coffee shop, making coffee for other people,
Mm-hmm.
working for the big boss, coming home and like having nothing to show for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So that was going to be my next question. We were kind of touching base on the expenses. Latex, anyone that doesn't know, any of the listeners, if you don't know, Google some latex. It is so expensive, right? So,
Yeah.
um, whenever you start out buying latex, I know that whenever I first looked at prices, I was like, this is crazy. Why is this so expensive? And then after I had my first skirt and I ripped it, I was like heartbroken. I was like,
Oh, oh no.
because I mean, like you were talking about earlier, there's different thickness. So
Mm-hmm.
some of it's thinner, some of it's thicker. My skirt was kind of, I guess, more on the thin side, and I ended up ripping it. And I was so, so sad. And I was like, I don't want to buy latex anymore. It just makes me sad. But
Did you think about fixing it, or was it like completely ripped?
um it was ripped all the way down with the exception of this much material left at the top.
Oh
And
no.
I still have it because I can't throw it away.
Was it
But
the first time you put it on, or did you have opportunity to wear it?
no.
No.
Yes, I got to wear it several times. So I think I actually had it for around a year and a half whenever it ripped. So I got some wear out of it, but I was just so disappointed. And it kind of broke my heart. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna buy anymore for a while. But so whenever you're deciding what latex you want to purchase, how do you make that decision? Do you look at the price? Do you look at the brand? What all do you look at?
Oh my God, I never look at the price. Like it's equally expensive. You have some cheaper brands and like you have like top shelf brands, but it's basically the same. And if you buy really, really cheap latex, like some people buy it of eBay or like I don't know, Amazon, that's not real latex. Like if it's really cheap, you're not gonna get good quality. Although I heard from some of my friends, they bought some good stuff on eBay, but you have to be lucky.
Mhm.
Um, so I rarely look at prices, to be honest. I have my favorite brands
Mhm.
and I stick to them. But I'm also like willing to try the new ones because you never know what you're gonna find.
Right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I'm serious, guys. If you have never Googled latex prices, go ahead and Google it
Yeah,
because
Google prices of the catsuits. They're gonna horrify you.
yeah, it is crazy how expensive. Like it is delicious and amazing. And it's one of those things like you really have to have a passion for it to be able to spend that kind of money on it, right? Because at the end of the day, if you buy it and you have buyer's remorse, that's a lot of money to have buyer's remorse for. So
Yeah, you know what's weird? Like you spend so much money for something you're not gonna wear outside. You're not gonna wear
yeah,
it daily. I mean, you can wear it to the party, to the club, to the bar, but
yeah,
that's not like daily clothes, you know? So you can wear it, as I said, to an event, party, to
right.
your bedroom, but you spend so much money for something
Yeah,
it's not daily use. So
right.
as you said, you have to have passion for it.
Yeah. And it's like a luxury item.
Mhm.
It's one of those things that not everybody is going to be able to afford it because it is expensive. And I mean, even if you purchase it, say, yeah, I made this purchase, it's amazing, you still have to learn how to care for that,
Oh
right?
yeah, of course,
It's not one
yeah.
of those things you can put in the closet and it'll just do its own thing. Like you have to know how to take care of it.
Mhm. That's the big part of it because if you take care of it, it's gonna last. And if you spend like 400 euros, dollars on a catsuit, you want it to last. You want to
Yeah.
have it for like 10 years,
Yeah.
you know?
Yes. 100%. Because at the end of the day, it's not one of those things where, oh, well, I'm just tired of it. Let me give it away. No, because if you buy a cat suit like that, or if you buy some kind of latex like that, more than likely you're going to want to hold on to it.
Yeah, I have difficulties. Like I have so much latex to sell, but like I have difficulties. Like I can't let it go because I'm
Yeah.
like, I still I like it.
What
I'm
if I need it one day?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't care about regular clothes anymore. I used to be a fashion person. Like I had so much clothes, but I don't care anymore. I wear the same thing like every day, and I'm
Mhm.
happy with it. I just care about my latex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's like an addiction, you know, it's a lifestyle, it's an addiction, it makes you
Mhm.
happy, it's also a sexual thing. So
Yeah.
it's so much better than regular clothes, you know? And
So
yeah.
go ahead and then I'll ask you my next
Oh, and
question.
also like I don't have social life. So I don't go,
Mhm.
I don't like parties, I don't go to the clubs, I don't go to the bars. So I don't have to dress up on Friday night, you know.
Right.
Uh, on Friday night, I just put latex on and I just kinky stuff in my house.
Yeah. So that kind of reminds me of the question that I was going to ask. So I don't have a latex fetish. I have a leather fetish.
Mhm.
So super, super into leather, like the way it smells, the way it feels, the weight of it. Um, so I discovered my fetish whenever I was really young and I was riding horses and the saddle full leather. So that was like one of my first aha moments, like, I really, really like this. What was that aha moment for you? Like, when did you realize that you really enjoyed latex?
Well, as I said in the beginning, as soon as I had this dress on, so
Mm,
I just put it on and I was like, yeah, that's it. You know, it
mm.
feels great.
So, did you essentially buy it just because it looked awesome and you wanted it because you said it was shiny and kind of you thought you might like the material?
No, no, I didn't buy it. Somebody had it at the photo shoot and they asked me if I want
Oh,
to wear it. But after that, I bought the exact same dress. So yeah, like that's not my first latex dress, but it is. So
right, right. Okay. Okay. So it was one of those things that it was just kind of a work exposure and you ended up fucking loving it. That's
yes,
awesome.
and the same happened with the hoods because I was at the photo shoot
Mhm.
and I was shooting just dresses and catsuits, and the photographer asked me if I want to put the hood on. And I was like, yeah, I like new things. Just give it to me, of course. And then I put it on, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. I feel
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, and that was the trigger moment for the rubber doll. Yeah.
Nice. So I don't have experience with hoods myself,
Mhm.
especially not latex hoods. So I guess the closest that I've ever got was the hoods that I use for my pets. So I'm super curious as to if it affects your skin and how you take care of your skin, just because it can't really breathe under latex. So is there some kind of skincare that you do to help with that?
Oh yes, skincare is really important to me because after a few hours, if I'm shooting, I mean, photo shoots are quite easy. Filming it's more difficult because you have all those lights and
Right.
you sweat a lot, especially while doing all those kinky things.
Mm-hmm.
And some days I sweat a lot, some days I don't sweat at all. But all this sweat is here, melted with your, I don't know, skincare that you used earlier, or like makeup, and you
Mm-hmm.
take it off. Like I take it off, my skin is really irritated, especially if I film day after day after day.
Right.
Um, so at the end of the day, I really have to take care of my skin. So I use a lot of masks and eye pads and
Mm.
serums. And it's very important for me to do it after every single day. But
Right.
sometimes you can't avoid it. Sometimes I have really bad breakouts here. And I
Yeah.
just have to take a break from the hoods.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That was what I was going to ask next. If you ever had to take a break from the hoods, because if anyone has never worn latex before, you don't understand how your skin can't breathe. Your skin has to breathe.
Yeah.
And wearing those hoods, even the cat suit, even cat suits did that to me.
Mhm.
I would get small breakouts, especially in the areas where I sweat more and oils and stuff gather. So skin, you really have to take care of your skin.
Yeah, exactly. I when I wear my cat suit, I always get like breakouts here. Like I never had any skin problems, but
Yeah.
as you said, you sweat, uh, the
And it just,
bacteria and
yeah,
everything.
it
Yeah,
just pulls there, right? Like it just stays under, it doesn't have anywhere to go.
yeah, yeah. But it's like, I don't want to discourage anybody. It's like because I am professional and I do it daily. If you're gonna
Yes.
put a hood for a few hours or even for the party, or if you're gonna put something for a few hours, it's okay unless you are
Yeah.
very sensitive or you have allergies. Um, when I go for my trips, I work every single day. So I leave for like 2 weeks and I film, then I shoot, then I film. So it's latex daily for me. And then
Right.
after the fifth day, I have skin problems. But if you're gonna wear it for a few hours, it's not a big deal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna sweat a lot, but some
Mm-hmm.
people like it. Some people like sweating in latex, and some people find it very sexy. So
Yes.
it depends. Yeah.
So I was going to ask, I know that earlier we kind of talked a little bit about stockings, latex stockings. I can never get mine to stay. So after I start sweating, they start rolling down.
Yeah,
Do
I
you
hate.
have that problem?
Yeah, with some brands. The trick is you don't put dressing aid all the way up. You just leave the top area dry. Or
Hmm.
sometimes you can use some talcum powder, but I don't think that's a good idea because then you start sweat and you mix all those products together and the white liquid will come out.
Yeah.
But I most of the time I keep the top area dry. I don't put any dressing aid on it. So it
Mm,
stays longer. But some brands of stockings, they roll down very easily
right.
and some of them stays. I don't know why. Is it the design or the thickness? I don't know.
Right. I was so curious because I remember cursing it. I was like, what in the hell? Like
Mhm.
these are supposed to stay up. They're stockings. And then
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe I could find like a garter belt to kind of help with that. And then I was like, yeah, no, we can't do that because then I'll rip my latex. And then I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
have
have to complain
very,
about it.
very thin stockings. I think it was 0.25. Yeah, And I had the garter belt and it made a hole in it. So sometimes it can break the stockings, but most of the time it's okay.
Yeah.
Especially with the thicker one. It's not that
I get nervous. My skirt gave me PTSD with that. I'm like, I'm gonna break all of my latex. So,
from the very beginning. But like that's why we said it's an expensive hobby because it
yes.
breaks a lot. And I'm experienced and I even get problems. Sometimes items breaks for no reason. I mean, sometimes I rash and like I put my finger through it like this.
Right.
Or my fingernails are too long, but sometimes they break for no reason. So
Right.
You have to like be aware of the fact that you're gonna break some latex through your journey. So for example, if you buy your first latex catsuit, they are so expensive. If you're a beginner, I wouldn't buy the top brand. I would go for like a little bit cheaper because you're probably gonna break it. So maybe
Yeah.
like learn on the cheaper items.
Yes, I love that tip. And I 100% agree with that because at the end of the day, you kind of do have to get some experience under you, especially whenever it comes to like learning how to get movements down because like some of it's not super restricting, but it makes your body kind of move a little different. Like when you're bending your arms, whenever you have like full gloves on and you're bending your arm's not going to bend like it would without like with you not having anything on it and it being bare. So it's kind of something that you have to get used to.
Yeah, or the corsets.
Yes.
The corsets are the most restrictive. There's always this golden rule when you get dressed, you have to put the shoes first because later it's difficult to bend over to put the shoes on.
Yes.
And
I
most of
made
the
that mistake once.
I do that mistake all the time. I'm always like, okay, let me put the shoes on, and I mean, let me put the corset first and the shoes last. Yeah, I make this mistake all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, I know we were kind of talking earlier. This is your full-time job. So whenever it comes to having a support system, do you have anyone close to you that knows and fully supports you in your journey as a rubber doll?
well, basically, I do everything by myself. I don't have a boyfriend or a husband.
Mhm.
Um, so that's a bit difficult. Like physically and mentally. Like when I
Right.
go and shoot with people or film with people, many female content creators, they like come over with boyfriends or husbands. And
Mhm.
I can see how they work together, as a team, and they
Right.
have this support system. And I'm always like so jealous because I would love to have somebody like that.
Right.
And sometimes it's difficult because I feel like I have to do everything by myself, like social media,
Yeah.
editing. Uh, it's sometimes it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
Um, but like my friends, my inner circle, my family, they know about what I do and they accept it. Like nobody
Good.
ever told me, oh, you're not supposed to do it, like you don't have morals. They
Right.
just accepted that. And so that gives me also like so much strength because I know those people in my inner circle, they are not against me and they are
Right.
not against of what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. So, um, I have found that anything that is sex work related has people on the outside that are always going to be kind of negative, regardless, whether it's, like sex work related or anything else. Like negative people seem to just be negative in all aspects of their life. You know what I mean? So I really, really enjoy that you have at least friends and family that are supportive and they let you know that it's okay to be yourself, right? Because this rubber doll, that's a part of you. That's you expressing yourself, you know?
Yeah, it's always awkward when I go somewhere, like let's say a hairdresser, and they always like so chatty, and they're like, "Oh, so what do you do for a living?" And I'm like, yeah, like I'm not hiding, I can tell
Right.
you, but like I don't want to offend you, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like, I can be like sometimes when the person seems more uh I don't know, strict, I'm like, oh, I'm doing an adult work, like I work in adult industry, and then they
Mm.
are like not chatty anymore.
Yeah.
But if they are like sometimes when they are very nosy and they are like, I'm like, oh, I'm doing social media. Oh yeah, what on social media? And they keep on asking and they see
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable answering. I'm like, I do porn. And
Yeah.
then they shut up. So
Yeah. I love it.
yeah.
I love it.
No,
I
I'm hiding because I'm proud of who I am.
yeah.
And like I have no reason to hide. But the thing is, as you said, like still sex workers in society, it's still a taboo.
Yeah.
And I
Stigma
think
still follows.
yeah. And I think there's a lot of people who think, oh, she's doing that because she's not educated, or maybe she was a teen mom, or maybe she can't do anything else, or maybe she's just lazy. Like,
Right.
especially like strippers. Oh, she just like designer bags and she's too lazy to work, so she's stripping. No,
Yeah.
stripping is a lot of
It
work.
is a hard fucking
Yeah.
work. Man.
And
Whew.
I mean, the entire sex work industry, that's like a lot of work. And people think
Yeah.
it's not. It's just like, oh, she's too lazy to have a proper job.
Yeah.
No, it's a proper job.
Yeah. And there's a lot of investing, right? You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in all of your equipment. You have to invest in your wardrobe. Like, because overall, you are the product, right?
Yeah.
So if you're not taking care of yourself, you literally have to take care of every aspect of your life to be successful in sex
Mm.
work.
Yes, and it's never ending work because you have to maintain yourself.
Yes, exactly. So, um, if you could talk to people that aren't really knowledgeable about latex, what would you tell them? What tips would you give them?
People who are not knowledgeable about latex, but they want to get
Yes.
I would say just start slow. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with like heavy rubber. Just start slow. I don't know. The gloves are quite cheap. Just buy yourself a pair of gloves. See what it feels like. If you like the smell, if you like the feeling, you
Mhm.
just do it gradually. Or even the dress or leggings. That's such a great idea because this wet look, shiny fashion is like out there. So if
Yes.
you wear latex leggings outside, it's not such a big deal,
Right.
and just see if you like the feeling and if you feel comfortable, because sometimes you might look great, but you're not gonna feel comfortable. And I don't understand this because I would never wear something that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah. And while we were kind of talking earlier, you have to learn certain things with certain items. Some of them are more restricting. So you kind of have to let your body kind of experience that and I guess learn how to use it, right? Like with the hoods, you said some of them are more restricting, some of them are looser. And you kind of just have to learn that on your own as you go and listen to your body, right?
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted with my dog.
We were kind of just talking about getting used to wearing the latex, starting out with the cheaper stuff. Now, so we were just talking about previously people buying latex on Amazon and eBay potentially. So where's a good place for the new people to start? Like, where would you suggest that they buy something if they just want to try it out to see if it's for them?
Well, I'm not sure if I should mention any brands because
Well, you don't have to really mention the brands. Like, should they be buying off of Amazon? Should they be buying off of eBay? Should they find like a, I guess, an individual that strictly does that, because whenever you're looking at like Amazon, you could be buying from anyone. Like you
Yeah.
could be, it could be some random person, because a lot of people don't know, but anybody can sell stuff on Amazon, right? So,
There's a lot of like proper latex shops on Etsy or Amazon, but if you don't know the proper brands, it's really difficult.
mhm.
But I would say my advice is if you have Instagram, Twitter, and you follow a lot of content creators,
Oh yeah.
just check what brands they are tagging and just check their social media, and you can pretty much figure out what's the legitimate brand.
Yeah. Yeah, for
And
sure.
especially if you see the pictures and it looks good on this person and they wear it all the time, and you see it on the video the way it looks on their body without like,
Mhm.
no retouching anything, you can make a good decision.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's another one of those things, you should do your research, right? Don't just buy something, oh, that looks good, and you buy it, because you don't know. Like, do your research. It's like anything else. Like if you're doing collaborations with somebody, or I mean, if you're just making a purchase in general life, like I'm not going to just go buy a washer. I'm going to do my research, find out if that's the one for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I think we have to take another break.
We were just talking about latex brands, following different people, kind of seeing where their sources come from, what brands they use, and that's kind of the best way to go. So you were just mentioning that you could even reach out to creators.
Yeah, I mean, if you are on Twitter, Instagram, or you follow any paid platforms of the latex content creators, just, be polite, talk to them, ask them for recommendations. Like, I love talking to people and
Mhm.
I love sharing. I'm not that open to talk about brands, especially in public forums,
Right,
because I don't feel like I should be free advertisement for them.
right,
I think it should be like a collaboration. If the brand supports me, I will support them, especially if they have great items.
right,
So if somebody asks me in a comment section, or where did you buy this and that, like I don't like to do it.
right.
But if you send me a message and talk to me in private, I can direct you towards the brands, the stores. And if you don't have experience with latex, I think it's the best way to talk to somebody who's in it. So
Yes, yes. Especially somebody that's as experienced as you and other dolls like that. Because, I mean, you have all kinds of fucking experience, years of experience, trial and error with different brands and with different items. So you're literally a huge resource.
I mean, I don't have this many years of experience. There are people who are doing this for like 10 years
Yeah.
or 20 years. I like I just created I discovered latex 3 years ago, and then I
Mhm.
created Lola like 2.5, 2 years ago. Maybe
Yeah.
it will be 3 this year. I'm not sure, but it's such a short period of time. But because it's like my full-time thing, it consumes all my attention. I
Right.
was able to explore it and experience faster than anybody else
Yeah,
because that's the only thing I focused on.
for sure. So let's kind of talk about your past a little bit. So whenever you were younger, whether it was a child or a preteen or a teenager, at any point did you have any kind of abuse that was either mentally, physically, or emotionally damaging?
I mean, as a teen, I think like anything can be emotionally damaged to you.
Yeah.
Not you're still developing, so you experience different things. Like nothing major never happened to me.
Mm.
But I think when I was a teen, I was dealing with a lot, like every
Right.
teen, I would say. So yeah, but I don't have any like traumatic experience.
Okay. Okay. So, whenever we're talking about kind of moving past all the things that help guide you to the person that you are, sometimes you have like small moments throughout your life that kind of made something more interesting or something more impressionable. Like earlier I was talking about me having a leather fetish, and whenever I was quite young, saddles became very appealing to me. Did you have any experiences like that whenever you were younger?
Nothing major, to be honest. I've
Mm.
heard the story of people who were like, oh, like my mom used to wear those boots, or like,
Mhm.
or I've seen those magazines in my dad's
Right,
cupboard. And that's how it starts for those people. They see
right.
something when they are very young, and it leaves a very big impression on them.
Mhm.
Like for me, I don't think I had anything like that. I mean, I always liked taking pictures. I was
Mhm.
very interested in photography.
Mhm.
So I don't know, at one point I discovered I can take like nudes, and
Right,
I got really turned on by this. But it wasn't like a major event. It was like
right,
through my life.
right.
And then, you exchange nudes with your partner and it's really exciting, or you start filming yourself. And I think it was like building gradually.
Nice. Yeah. So, my last question for you is going to be one kind of development. So, whenever you got started with the community, I know whenever I got started, there was always so much I guess stigma and reputation. So my question kind of pertains to that. Throughout your experiences with the fetish community, have you at any point experienced anyone performing negatively, like trying to force you into anything, or maybe a director or a photographer making you do things that you're not comfortable with? Did you have any dangerous situations?
Well, any situation can be a dangerous situation, especially if you
Right,
travel yourself as a woman and you go working like with a person you don't know.
right,
So we have to be very careful. But no, nothing bad never happened to me. I think the fetish circle is like people are different. They are more open-minded. And like I
yeah,
can give you the example. If you go to a regular bar, at least in my case, there's like five guys who are trying to buy me a drink. And I'm like,
yeah,
no, sorry, like I'm not here to meet anybody. I'm not here to date. I'm not looking for a boyfriend, or I have a boyfriend, whatever. They don't understand. And some
right,
of them are very annoying and they like keep on asking you. You say
mhm,
no, they get upset. But within fetish community, like if you go to an event, to a party, and if you, at least from my experience, if you say no, people are respectful. And even during the photo
yeah,
shoots, like I feel like fetish photographers, as kinky as they are, they're not gonna take advantage of you. Because like I feel that would be the case. Like when I was a teen, I was doing like regular photography,
mhm,
like just nothing sexual. And
right,
I had a situation when the guy was like, how about if you like do this or that, and they were trying to insinuate something, and then I was
mhm,
very uncomfortable, and I was like, okay, I'm not shooting anymore.
right,
So I think like within vanilla community those things are more common. I don't know why,
yes,
but within fetish community, like nobody never told me, oh, it will be cooler if you do this, or should I put this gag on you, or how about like you
yeah,
show me or whatever, right?
yeah,
Um, if I arrive at the set, it's up to me what I want to do and how I want to do it, and I don't feel pressure from anybody.
I love it. I love it. And that's kind of where I was going. I know a lot of people, especially in the civilian community, the vanilla community, um, I have seen so much more pain and like forced behavior and like just negative attitudes, like people throwing tantrums if you don't do what they want you to do. And it's like, I have never seen that in the fetish community. I've never seen it in the fetish community. I feel like everybody is super hardcore into consent. They want to make sure you're enjoying yourself because that shows up better on it. It doesn't matter if it's a photograph or if it's a video, it just films better. It shows up better. Everybody has this like positive reinforcement, like, yes, I want to be here. I love what I do. And the fetish community is huge for that. Even though there's this terrible stigma of people being like, oh, well, they do really weird shit, they force you to do stuff. No, all of that is consensual. Like, there's some rough play, but it's all consensual. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like my first latex bondage experience, like I felt so comfortable, especially with the ball hoods that you were talking about. So it's your first time, you can't hear very well, you breathe through the tube, you can't see.
Right.
And if you have collar on the top of it, you can't just like lift it, right? So I felt very secure because the person I was with made me feel safe, and we could have like stopped anytime, and it was all up to me. It wasn't like, no, 5 more minutes, no, it's okay, you're gonna be fine. Like, no, it was up to me. If I feel uncomfortable, we're gonna stop. And I think that's a big thing in this community. Like, people take care of each other, and it's all about you feeling great.
Yes, I completely agree. I will let you get back to your day. I know you're busy. Thank you so much for your time and for bringing all of the insight and knowledge for anything latex related. Again, if any of you want to follow, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
You're always welcome. And I'm going to say, if you don't follow her on Twitter, you're definitely missing out on a lot. Also, she has conveniently located in her bio everything you could ever need. So get on over there, follow. It's at LOLA_NOIR__ on Twitter. Anybody else is an impersonator because you don't have a second account, right?
No, I only have Twitter and Instagram. My Instagram account is private. And FetLife, all those like platforms, yeah. But only one Instagram and no, one Twitter and 2 Instagram accounts, one private and one open.
Okay. Now, if any companies want to reach out to book you, how do they contact you?
To be honest, I don't know, like because my email address isn't listed anywhere. I would just say DM.
Okay.
Yeah, on Instagram or Twitter.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Forbidden Depths. We will see you on the next episode. Hey, it's Queen Frostbitten again, your host. I just want to remind you that you can follow us on YouTube at Forbidden Depths. That's FORBIDDENDEPTHS. Or over on Twitter at the number 4 BIDDENDPODCAST. Remember to always stay educated, consensual, and safe. We'll see you on the next show.